Hello everyone, this is Tammy. Today I'd like to show you how I get really great cuts with the Cricut, and most of it has to do with the mat. So this is a pretty old mat that I have here, and I'll kind of show you up close what I'm talking about. Some of the paper lint, if you see all the pink on there, and then let's see, some pieces that don't come off. I don't know if you can see it real good. There's some other tan color paper. Now, I have scraped this with a scraper and it just doesn't come off. So, this is what I do. I will take a baby wipe, any old cheap ones, and I clean up my mat that way. So I really, let me see, get some of these spots that have a lot of this paper lint on them. And I will finish doing the whole one. You can see that, you know, it leaves quite a dirty baby wipe. So I will continue to do this and to go over it and get all the stuff off it. Then I just let it set for a few minutes and it's to dry, and usually it's almost really sticky again. But every so often I do have to apply more adhesive to it. Now, one of the ones I use is this two-way glue, and you know, I just go back and forth. I get the glue coming down. It turns blue here, and I just go back and forth on my mat. I don't apply too much, and now I would never apply this before I have cleaned my mat really good and get all the stuff off. I've never had a scrape adhesive. I've never had a bad mat, and I've done this for a year or so. I also will use this stick and spray. Sometimes I just spray it on the mat while I'm doing, you know, cutting at this time where I don't want to take the time to do this to my mat, or, you know, a couple extras I do have, but I'll just spray this stick and spray. And like I said, nothing builds up. I never get a lot of glue. I do have marks on my mat from where I cut, but I never have any problem. I don't have to put adhesive remover on it or anything. As long as I keep that mat cleaned with the baby wipes. I have never had to do that, and I've applied adhesive, glue to this at least 10 times, at least. So, and they work just about like new. One of the reasons, too, the mat doesn't cut well when it's dirty is because it makes it unlevel. You know, there's little chunks or little things of paper, and even that paper lint piles up, and that's really what gives you not a good cut. So I also have a few other tricks, and one of them is, especially when you use little pieces of paper like this, you know, I'm going to place these to cut out a few things. One of my little tricks to do this, sometimes it doesn't matter how sticky your mat is. When you have a little piece of paper, it doesn't roll under the 4 or 5 little roller things on the bottom of your, you know, where your paper slides in. So I will get this painter's tape, and I tape the pieces down a little bit right where I want them. I move my blade over so I don't cut on that. So when I'm using a lot of little pieces, this helps a lot. Because it's frustrating cutting and having the paper move in the middle, and you know, you don't get a good cut if your paper is not stuck really good to the mat. So that's another trick I do, especially when using little pieces. Another trick I do is I use my multi-cut a lot, and except on really thin papers. There's no need to use it. But I do use my multi-cut a lot, and I have found over the time doing all this that there's just been 1 or 2 papers ever that haven't given me a good cut. So I like really nice, sharp, good cuts. Another mat problem that I've had is with the Imagine, and it is a different mat. The stickiness really feels different. And it goes into the machine so you can't even really see that your paper moves, or even a large sheet of paper would move on this. And you can't really put the blue tape on a big sheet of paper because it does need to read these lines. So how I took care of this, I use just this stick and spray, but I only sprayed the paper back, not the mat. And it has seemed to work fine. So I've solved that problem in cutting and getting actually the machine cuts beautifully. I just get it to stick good. I also don't get a lot with the new glue here. I don't get a lot of that lint and stuff. I don't have quite the dirty mat that I would get with my Cricut. So I just do that and it seems to work. I hope this has helped to get really great cuts, especially if you're new to just got a new Cricut or a Gypsy and you're cutting a lot. These tips have worked for me. I get really great cuts. So, well, hope it was helpful, and thanks for watching. Have a great year.